Namaskar, dear students. Today, in our lecture on the subject of Constitution of India, we'll be studying about the various forms of the government. As you all know, which particular kind of form of government is being followed in our country, we'll study that first. That is parliamentary form of government. There is another form of government as well, which is presidential form of government, which is followed mainly in USA. That is the best model. So we do study USA in that regard. But in our country, that is India, we do follow parliamentary form of government in which the president is merely a nominal head of the state and the real and also the head of the executive. So the president is the head of the state as well as the head of the executive, but it is merely a nominal head. The real executive powers are enjoyed by the Prime Minister of India and his Council of Ministers. According to Article 74 of Indian Constitution, there is always a necessity of Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister, who will aid and advise the President of India and who shall in furtherance of such aid and advice act, though he has that power that he can send back that advice, general or special, for reconsideration to the Council of Ministers and the PM, of course, because he is there always, who is heading them, for reconsideration. But if that is again sent back, then he has to agree to that, accede to that. Okay, so our country follows the parliamentary model of government. Secondly, the Council of Ministers always sink and swim together. For this regard, we'll have to see Article 75. Article 75, Clause 3 specifically sets out the responsibilities on the Council of Ministers. Okay, they are responsible to the popular house, that is the lower house, which is also known as Lok Sabha. So they are collectively responsible to the lower house, that is Lok Sabha. So if any non-confidence motion is passed against any one of them, and if it successfully passes, then the government fails and they'll have to tender their resignations. Also, if any of the Council of Ministers do not agree with the other herd members, then what has to be done is either that particular Council of Ministers has to keep his voice silent, or he has to accede to that, or no other option is available to him than to resign. Okay, if he is not agreeing at all, so it is the case. So the real powers of the executive are enjoyed by the Prime Minister, who is elected through the people of India. Okay. The origin of parliamentary form of government can be traced back to UK from where it began. And in it, the party which is chosen in majority in the parliament represents the people and is the real executive, is the person who enjoys the real executive power. In our constitution, we will study at the various places the doctrine of pleasure of the president. Okay, but in real sense, this pleasure of the president is enjoyed by the executive, moreover the real executive, because by virtue of Article 74 of Indian Constitution, there is always Council of Ministers headed by PM to aid and advise the President, who acts in furtherance of such aid and advice. So therefore, the pleasure of president doctrine applies accordingly. The various examples of the countries following the parliamentary form of government are as follows: Japan, Germany, UK, Portugal, and Italy, as well as India, do follow parliamentary form of government. In India, we do follow parliamentary form of government in center as well as in states, which is governed by Article 74 and 75. 74 and 75 specifically deals with the center or the central executive or the union executive specifically, whereas article 1 article 163 and 164 deals with the state executive and the provisions thereof. In presidential form of government, there is only one executive, and also the head of the state is the head of government as well. Okay, and the examples of them are USA and South Korea. Also, such a head is not answerable to the legislature for its acts and policies, and therefore its term is not dictated by the legislature. Another striking feature of parliamentary form of government is that there is an opposition in the parliament which checks if any arbitrary work is being done by the government of the day. So there are a lot of discussions which are held in the parliament, and the opposition plays an important role. Okay, in UK, the opposition is known as shadow cabinet. Okay, so they do check the work of the government, and that is calculated and discussed in the parliament as well. Then comes the bicameral legislatures. The countries which do follow the parliamentary form of government do also have bicameral legislatures. India is also one of them, in which there are two houses, the upper house and the lower house. In India, the lower house can be dissolved and president can do the same. Okay. Also, there are independent civil servants who aid and assist the government of the day, and they execute the policies of the government. These are people who are selected on merit basis, and they continue their employment even after a government has changed. Okay, so these are the important pillars as well of the parliamentary form of government. Then comes the point of secrecy. The cabinet ministers have to take an oath of secrecy that they will keep the various policies when they are being discussed at the time in secret. Okay. Also, there are another things which get important factors of parliamentary form of government, which is, so the various advantages of parliamentary form of government are, it represents the diverse groups. So in a country like India, where we can see there is a diversity in terms of ideologies, in terms of languages, which is linguistics, of course, ethnicity. So these people can express their views upon the various laws and the policy, and these things can be discussed, and thereafter these things can be deliberated, and proper decisions may accordingly be taken. Also, there is a better coordination between the legislature as well as executive, because in parliamentary form of government, the party in majority of the lower house is elected, and they are called for making the government. So therefore, this is another important striking feature. Thereafter comes the point that it checks authoritarianism. Okay, since the Union Council of Ministers is a group of people who collectively decides and thereafter aids and advise the president. Therefore, it is not the role of a single person. Also, it provides an option of alternative government. In case a non-confidence motion is passed against the government, the other parties can be called to form the government. Thank you, dear viewers, for listening so carefully. Have a good day.